Welcome to the video. We're going to talk about how you can play your ample guitars the way you want inside of Scalar 3. So there's a few things to keep in mind when you do that, and if you've tried it before you might have got frustrated, but after a lot of research this is what I've come up with, and again it works really good. So we have our scalar here, and it's basically default. Let's state. So let's grab some chords, something like all chords. Let's go to F. Let's go to F major. Let's grab the first four. And let's then go to this page. And let's go and load up our ample. And this probably would work with several different of the ample guitars. If they have a strumming system. So now we have our ample acoustic guitar, the Taylor, and if we just play it, it's not going to sound good because it'll be playing chords into its kind of finger picking system here. But just as an example, let's play. Okay, it's enough of that. So, of course, we want it to play our chords beautifully, and we want it to play patterns as we change through the chords, and we may want to have inversions of our chords and the types of chords and the position of those chords playing those phrases. That's a lot, but you can do all of that. So next we need to go change the ample guitar to its strummer. Turn it on with the switch down here. And we're in the first mode, but we want to go to detect mode. And you can do what I'm talking about today in this mode, where you, instead of scalar sending the notes to ample, ample will read, or I should say the chords, ample will read the chord type and the position of the chord kind of numerically as it goes through them here. And you can have 24 different types of chords playing your different sequences here. But maybe we'll do that another day. So let's switch to direct mode by this button. So it turns like this. And now let's play and hear what we get. It still isn't going to be right. Oh, what's that? Oh, okay. Well, it's doing that because of certain conditions. So we have to know ample system, and we have to know scalar system and how they work together. So let's go to the MIDI editor. Let's lasso all four chords, and let's see what's going on. Well, first of all, ample needs their chords in a certain register to work. And these chords here are too high currently. So with all selected, let's bring them down by an octave. One octave down. Now it'll be in the register that ample likes. And now will it play right? It still won't play right. See? Okay, so now you're saying, now what's the problem? Well, ample also needs, because we're in strummer mode, it needs to know what sequence or phrase you want to play from the 8 available here, and it has no control notes telling you to play any of those right now. So what we should do, and those control notes that ample wants, will be on C3, and from C3 up in the black notes. So as an example, write a note. So grab your draw tool. I'll write a note at C3. And when I do that, it automatically plays that phrase. And so I want 2 chords of phrase or sequence 1. So I'll write 2 on C3. Then I want phrase 2. So I go up to the black note here. And then I want phrase number 3, so I'll go up another black note. But that's not the phrase I want for that third, so I'll go into Ample and I'll load a different phrase. And I'll say, I've got some kind of default phrases here, and that'll probably work. And I've done some videos on how to write your own phrases, but now that we can use Ample really effectively in Scalar, that could be another good video. Let's get out of there. So now we have the phrases we want, and we have we have the control notes to tell us when to shift those different phrases. So now that Scalar has what it needs, Ample has the notes it needs, it should play. Let's go back from the start. And if I turn on the looper, it would go back and play again. So right now I've got what I want. I've got Scalar's chords that I just quickly picked. They're in the right register. I can change the flavor of the chords, the structure. I'll show you how to change how that chord plays, which position that chord plays on the guitar through inversions. And you can add a seventh. And I've showed you how to change the phrases, and you have 8 available. We're just demoing 3 changes, so the first, the second, and the third, but you could have up to 8. So you could have 1 or 2 phrases that are almost the same, because the phrase is going to sound different even if you didn't change the type of phrase or the phrase notes, how they're configured. It will still make the chord change. So sometimes it sounds good without even changing. That's why I've got the first 2 that stay on the same phrase and just change the chord. Blah, blah, blah. Long story short is you have the control you want. So what if I want to add a 7th to that F major up here? Let's just draw in. Now we have it as a major 7, so playing from the top. Okay, great. Let's delete that just for the sake of keeping at our base here. And what if I want to play that F major, but I want to play it on the second position of the guitar, higher up? So the way Ample, or what Ample needs, is an inversion of that. So we can invert really easy inside of Scalar, or you could do it manually, just taking the F root and inverting it up. But Scalar will do that for you. So we got them all selected up here. Let's just select the F major. Otherwise, if you have all selected, it messes things up. So let's just say the F major, we want that inverted up. So move it, inverted it up 1. So now that F has moved up, but the control note at C3 here has stayed the same, and that's good. If the inversion would have moved that note, we would have had to move it back to C3. But we're all good to go. And if I click play, now it should play that same F major, but you should see this position number move up and play higher up. Let's see if it worked. And it did. So now that F is playing in position 2. What if we wanted even higher in position 3? For whatever reason, if we're playing certain, you can move all your chord shapes around. You may want that at some point. So what Scalar needs to do is invert it down now. So we're still just selected on the F major. Let's take that inversion and move it to 0, then 1 down. So we're dragging and moving it down. But if you play it now, it won't play right, because if you notice, it inverted our chord, but it also inverted that C3 note to a C2 note. So just move that up manually back to C3. Now, if we go from the start, it should go from the 2 to the 3rd position. Let's play. And that's exactly what we get. So now we have whatever chord we want, playing whatever phrase we want in whatever sequence of those phrases. And we can also tell it what position any one of those chords we want on the guitar. And that's exactly what I wanted to be able to do with ample guitars inside Scalar 3. So that's my little video on this. If you do want to play it using this system, it's simple. You would just not use these chords at all. You would still use your control keys up here. You would delete your chords and you would write the chords in manually here. So you'd have to be in this mode and you would say to yourself, well, I want the first one would be a F major. So you would just go to number 1 and you would switch that to F and major, and you could say, well, 2nd position. So you don't have to invert it. You're doing the inversion right here. And since these notes, I'll just do it for the sake of doing it. We delete these notes. Now, Ample needs to know, you're saying, well, how does it know which one to play? Well, it needs control notes inside of Scalar. And those notes are from C1 to B2. So if we write in, I think that's what they are. So let's go C1. So you notice it's at 1. If I move it up, if I move it up with the right tool, you notice it went to 2. Then if I move it up, it went to 3. So that's exactly what we want. So if you wanted to use this mode where you're controlling it all manually and you have so many options, because just look at what you can do here. So if you want to do it manually, it works just as well as Scalar sending the notes through here. And you just got to know that these notes here are controlling which of the chords here, your customized chords, are playing. And you have 2 banks of 12. So you have a total of 24. So I hope that helps somebody out who wants to use ample guitars inside of Scalar 3. I really like how it works inside Scalar 3. It took me a while to figure it out. Thought I'd make a quick video to help somebody out. And I do hope you're able to make music wherever you are in the world today. And we shall catch you on the next video.